It's Dave. It's the Too Much Dip podcast. It's just me in studio today. I'm going solo on that ass. Just kidding. KJ's here in Wisconsin, that is. What's up?
What is up, David? Randy, I will acknowledge your presence, knowing that David and I could not, by any means, do this. Just he and I without your steady hand at the helm.
Well, he's as producer, he's the one who puts together the rundown and finds all the sports stuff and is like, hey, you guys should have this take. This would get more clicks if you guys did this. It's all about impressions. That's what behind the scenes, Randy's a different animal. People don't know that.
I stumbled across I don't know what you call it. It's not TV guide, whatever. I was just wasn't flipping through the channels. I was looking for something to put on the television as background noise. When my eyes landed on a bowl game from, I guess, last year, I guess I could have verified the year, when Purdue and LSU were playing in a bowl game, either this past spring or last year.
That was last year.
How'd that go?
Oh, not great. But people forget that Purdue was the Big Ten West champions.
Okay, now I recall. And I think that's the one where Randy was like, we're going to get our heads kicked in. Not even worried about it.
No, that was when we were a number one ranked team against a 16 in the tournament. That's what that was.
Yeah, Randy did accurately predict the 16 over a 1 seed upset. But I think he probably, given his overall Purdue pessimism, probably saw that ass kicking from LSU coming like most people did.
Oh, yeah.
Which in general kind of brings me to something we can dig into later. But we're at the point in the year where I've got to relearn a lot about football, which we'll save that. Maybe we could turn into quiz next week because even mentioning Purdue, I'm beginning to wonder, is Drew Brees a coach for them still? Or was that like a 4-hour gig?
Yeah, I think that was only for the bowl game. I don't know if he's doing stuff there, but they got a new coach now. We got Hudson Card is over at us now too. So it's going to be interesting this year.
Okay. You would know Hudson Card from such programs as University of Texas most recently. I say that of course I knew that, but it took me a moment.
Dude, I was sitting here silent trying to process, and I was like, okay, I know that is a name I've said and thought about. KJ, so you were one of the votes for Vandy, right?
I was one of the first place votes for Vandy to be Big Ten, first all in the Big Ten.
Explain
the SEC, I'm sorry.
Your reasoning.
Because Nashville's the national capital for bachelorette parties, duh.
Okay. Fair enough. Are people just doing bits with their votes now, or do I not know about are they the new Texas Tech of the Deep South or South-ish?
Is Vandy the Texas Tech of the SEC?
Because Texas Tech is the Alabama of the West, as we've learned, and so I'm just trying to say they're the monster that's building that we're not thinking about, the existential threat to the SEC.
I would call them the Baylor of the SEC from an academic hat tip and just like an institutional prowess standpoint, except for minor differences between Nashville and Waco.
Just a few. Both bachelorette party destinations. You can't deny that.
You know what? I don't think you're wrong. I would say Waco's probably top 5 for third wedding. Or for third marriage, bachelorette party destination. Like Georgetown, number 1, Waco, going to the silos, has to be.
Going to the backyard.
As you get to third and fourth marriage, Waco rises way up the charts to go to the silos.
I still haven't been. I'm going up. I'm going up for, I'm either doing I might do both if I could swing it. I'm either doing T-State, Baylor, or Utah. I'm thinking Utah because obvious reasons I could probably get on the field just because I'm Jaquindon's agent or will be. I can't really announce that yet, but he's just a guy I've got my eye on. I think he's going to do big things this year at that RB1 position, but we don't have to explore that very much. We've got a lot to get to.
I love that it's almost JJ season. That's exciting.
Dude. Oh my God. I'm the only media figure talking about JJ outside of, Locked On Utes or whatever the fuck, whatever the Sports Nation or what they got. I don't know. It says here, don't Denton pod.
I learned a tough lesson last week as a 36-year-old.
It's a weird way to say
when
it.
you move, it's my preferred approach. As a numerologist, as a budding numerologist, I think 30 and 6 is an approach that I'd like to take.
I'm more of a 36 and 2 guy. Just a big Tool fan.
I was about to say it's
big.
I won't even front. I will. I'll see if this can pop up as I stumble my way back to my story.
Sorry.
Without even searching, without even doing anything but opening the app. The most recent played album or artist you can't see there. There we go.
Is everything? Oh, it's 46 and 2.
Yeah, 46 and 2. But either way,
is everything
the most
okay?
Recently played app.
I've noticed when my Tool listening goes up when like something just
times of stress.
Yeah, high times of stress. It's just deep depression. It's like, well, may as well listen to some Tool and think about the afterlife or whatever the fuck.
You know, there's a whole lot, and there's more going on out there than we ever could know.
That's a great point.
Anyhow, last week I learned a very tough lesson as a 36-year-old, as one will. Reestablished healthcare and dental care and, follicle care. We'll get into that later. When I moved to Madison, you find all of those new resources. So finding a dentist, rather simple. But the dentist did seem to have a plan for me that I was a little bit new to. As somebody who grew up with I'd say a mild to medium fear of dentistry, probably part of the reason I never got braces as a kid, wasn't something I was a fan of. I'm not terrified of needles, not even terrified of dental work. Just don't know what the deal was. Anyways, they're like, hey, we need to have you come in for a deep clean, and we're going to do it in 2 sessions. So I'm like, all right, well, whatever you say, I'll follow your guidance as the SME, as a SME in the room, subject matter expert for those at home. So anyways, I'm sitting there and in the chair, as you will, glasses on, and in the minor chance that my hygienist or dental assistant is to hear this, phenomenal job. Couple notes about my dental provider.
What's
He's
the ad?
6'7".
Oh. 6'7".
Which is a little intimidating. You don't notice it as you're in the Matrix chair, but you notice it at random times, like walking back to the room. I just feel like I should be holding his hand and guided into the room. And also just at times when he's maneuvering himself, I'm just like, okay, most people would have had somebody else swing an arm around or, whatever. It's a lot going on. Anyways, I don't know if you rock headphones while doing dental work.
I never have.
But as
I know I have a relationship with my dentist. I knew her son, and it's we talk the whole time, and it's not the best because I don't like talking while getting dentist stuff done. So I would love to experience what you're about to hit.
Well, that path that you're on right now is something that I did not want to have. I did not envision a barbershop relationship because you're disadvantaged as a speaker.
Yes.
Somebody's self-conscious about that. You don't want to be the one that's half numb trying to
argue MJ's the GOAT.
Give the Uber talk, throughout it all. But anyways, so I rocked earbuds for this one. Didn't matter because he continued his side of the conversation and I had to keep listening. I decided to listen to a podcast. Not sure if you've checked it out before, called Circling Back.
Yeah.
Great dudes. Good dudes. I couldn't really tell you what it's about.
That's the thing about
People
it.
seem to love it.
I know.
People seem to love it.
It's crazy. It's like they script it, but they don't. It's weird.
Oh, KJ, I would not have
if
done
they
that.
did.
Their producer is really good too.
Maybe he's the one responsible for writing a character in last week that the Merchant of Death made an appearance mid dental work in which I go from fully open mouth, holding the position, waiting on the suction moments for saliva buildup to jaws going into a clench, trying to hold back a laugh.
Well,
and I start to gargle a little bit
Oh,
on
no.
all the goings on.
Well, as a guy that's no stranger to dentistry work, you can't listen to a comedy podcast during that stuff because you can't be laughing mid of the fingers in your
What
mouth.
did you think about the circling back? If you thought you could just get away with it,
I didn't know. I hadn't been down this path.
he wasn't
I would
prepped
have
for the
been rocking
LOLs.
some Maynard K. Like, I don't know what I should have been doing. I should have gone with jazz or something, but I figured, okay, let me put my mind somewhere else. And if anything, maybe I can like mentally do a little bit of show prep for our show. Not that listening Circling Back does that, but there's a synergy of sorts of like making sure you're on the same wave with the guys. Yeah, I didn't bite down on any instruments, but I damn sure extended my visit by about 10 minutes because I had to like let my jaw relax apparently. Because I'm like sitting there forcibly holding it open, but also like holding back a laugh to where I didn't get like lockjaw, but I certainly got to a point where like my jaw was in pure pain because I was doing too much.
The thing about the Merchant of Death is that he was famously traded by our country to Russia to get back future Hall of Famer Brittany Griner, who Dylan, who's not here, he's on vacation, as you probably are aware.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan he's got something against her, and I think it's just the fact that she just utterly dominated Texas. He doesn't respect the grinds.
Okay. Sorry I stepped on that, but I like me being in my own head the whole time, I'm like searching for Brittany Griner facts and like stats in my head of like, oh, well, is there anything I know or I could add about Brittany Griner? And fortunately there's not. And I'm glad it never ventured to Kim Mulkey. I probably would have lost it, but yeah, I had there been any additional dental work done, I probably would have said, okay, I might write this whole visit off.
Oh man,
count it as like a proxy workplace injury.
This is kind of breaking news as of yesterday, but so I've actually been signed on to the Calm app. And the Merchant of Death is going to do a sleep meditation.
I think if we haven't done it already, I think that should be a layup of a social promo.
They say sleep is called cousin of death, no? Okay.
I would say maybe if we could also like weave in some ASMR techniques to it and maybe call it the Balm app. But whether or not you're going for like the play on the words for bomb, but balm, like, kind of just get you prepped for the moment. Like this is just put you in the mood. Doesn't relax you for sleep.
I was looking for your horny angle there, and I don't think it was there, but it could.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It's like this is a pregame, so it's like a little Merchant of Death ASMR.
The chicks dig the Merchant of Death. Any dude who's done hard time in the Supermax is a chick magnet. He's probably got some dope Supermax tats he got from Ted Kaczynski.
6 boards against Iowa State.
Man, 40-0, bro. You can't deny it.
Emotional moment.
Oh my God. Well, I'm sorry, KJ. I'm glad you had I'm glad you had the lulls, but I'm sorry that your dentist. Did your dentist ask like, what are you listening to? What's that about?
That was my bigger fear than like me ruining my mouth with anything. It's like I did not want that to pivot into. So what do you do around here? Like I didn't need that.
Yeah. And then he asked you like, oh, podcasts. I listen to some podcasts, mainly like some finance stuff. I listen to the New York Times. I'm assuming this is how your guy talks, even though that's not how people in Wisconsin talk, but that's what I know. I'm a dumb guy.
The next time, if next person in conversation that comes up with him, I'm going straight Dr. Zuck. I'm like, you fuck with the Zuck?
Yeah.
Got some friends saw him at a panel once.
Dylan tried to kidnap him. Or at least contemplated it. It's a true story.
Yeah.
At a South by event.
We want them searching that. But
the worst place to kidnap somebody is at South by.
During an SVP meltdown.
Because you're going to be like in the background of someone's like selfie stick, like group photo or some brand activation. You're going to be like trying to run them out of there and throw them in your trunk. And it's not,
Bombs doing a live shot in the background.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Dylan, if you're listening, don't do that. Here's something you should do, KJ, Randy, people out there. Check out Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Over 80% of people have subscriptions they forgot about, and chances are you're one of them. I'm going to put my hand up. This is me with my hand up. I've told this story a number of times, but yes, there was a podcast platform that had a show on it that was only available on that, and it was like $4.99 a month. Listened to the show, enjoyed it, and then forgot about it for 8 or 9 months. And then I got Rocket Money, and it was like, hey, you still into this? You still using this? And no, I wasn't. I was just throwing away money. So shout out to Rocket Money. Don't forget, you got that Stars app. You just want to watch one show. That's the thing that gets you, man. You like sign up for something just to watch a show. Terrible. Free gaming trials, Randy. You're a gamer. You game all the time. Rocket Money will quickly and easily find your subscriptions for you. And for any you don't want to pay for anymore, just hit cancel and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. It's that easy. Rocket Money also helps you manage your finances in one place and automatically categorizes your expenses so you can easily track your budget in real time and get alerted if anything looks off. Over 3 million people who have used Rocket Money, saving the average person up to $720 a year. That's a lot of money. It saved me money. $720 a year. You can do a lot with that. Maybe a PS2 or a PS5, whatever number they're on. Probably not a PS2. You can probably get those way cheaper. Stop throwing your money away. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/bang. That's rocketmoney.com/bang. rocketmoney.com/bang. So I guess you weren't electrified by the Brian Harman show, judging by how you put it on the rundown.
I just work here. I don't even. Brian Harman, another golf media mid hero. That sounds like hell of a headline, and you know what? Maybe one I'd have to agree with.
You put it in there.
But before I state my case, I guess why don't you, new media guy, sell me on Brian Harman? Why should I be enamored with his success?
Why am I advocating for Brian Harman? How do you know I'm even in on Brian Harman? I am. That doesn't mean I was rooting for him yesterday. I texted someone before. I said, given these conditions, no way Harman does this. I'm thinking Hove comes back, makes up a 7 or 8 shot deficit, and this is the Hove show. Well, I looked up, and Hove is like at even par after like 12, so that went away quickly. Then I was like, well, I'd love to see Tommy Ladd. Not as much as our friend Tron Carter at No Laying Up would love to see Tommy Ladd, like enough to fly across the world to see him.
Aggressive.
Finish T10. But I wanted Tommy Ladd, and then it became abundantly clear, probably through 6 holes, what was about to happen. And I have all the utmost respect for Brian Harman. He is he's a short king. He is
oh yes, he is.
He's someone who could use a upcoming sponsor read. Not judging. I use it. Hey, I could use it, and I do. But why it's interesting, KJ, is because in the era of bombers, and we are in the power era, guys coming out of college are hitting it a mile and ready to win whenever. Brian Harman at 36 does not hit the ball far at all. I know they probably pounded that into the ground, into oblivion last night, the commentators, but it's interesting seeing a guy work the ball, shape the ball, and just play a technical round of golf. Technical tournament. Hit like ended up in like the 2 or 3 bunkers the entire week, which is insane. We saw how much trouble people were having with those on Thursday, but yeah. So that from that standpoint, it is cool. And I think he was like plus 12. He was like plus 13,000 or something. Like he was a insane long shot. But yeah, so it is a cool story, and it's kind of funny for some reason. I don't know what this says about me, that a guy who like bow hunts and is from Georgia and is just kind of, goes and wins the Open Championship. I don't know why. It's funny watching him get interviewed by this like legacy golf, UK media, and they're asking him about like trophy hunting and stuff, and he's like, I don't trophy hunt. And they're like, it's just fun. It was funny. It was refreshing.
I wish he would hit the 30 to 50 pigs if he had to face that kind of answer, or that kind of line of questioning. So I guess that pushes me closer to the point of saying I respect him as a man, as a professional even.
Okay.
I have two other notes. One, I did truly enjoy the fact that Norm Macdonald had a previous tweet and knowledge of Brian Harman. That was a big positive for him in my category. Tremendous, even. Number two, I thought golf.com was like a reputable source. How are you going to win a major or be threatening to win a major? And golf.com's like, hey, world, here's some pics of that guy's wife.
Like, oh, okay.
Like it's golf.com posts an article. And again, if they have any future interest in supporting Dippy of sponsoring this show, by all means, I love the article. However, I do have some questions about meet Brian Harman's wife, Kelly Van Slyke, photos through the years as like quality content for golf.com.
Dude, how
like,
horny.
I know it's not the PGA, but like that's ridiculous.
How horny do you have to be to publish that?
To fire that off the day of, like, it's a little bit silly. Okay. So I've got nothing against him. By all accounts, like him jumping out to the lead, maintaining the lead, short of what Rahm did on Saturday, it just, I don't know about you, but it kind of closed the book on the season, minus, Liv's remaining schedule for me.
Bro, FedEx Cup, bro. Playoffs, bro.
Okay. Okay.
Which
Can't wait.
You can I'll let you explain what that is when the time comes.
3M is next week in TPC Twin Cities. I'll be there, sure. I won't. But like, I'm not saying I need stars to be interested, but when you have the combination like of a runaway winner and that runaway winner just being somebody's kind of milquetoast, like I saw the skyrocketing of Michael Block, felt weird about it. Glad he got humbled, except for he won a scramble with DJ Khaled recently. I don't think Brian Harman's of that same cloth. This is a professional who's played several years on the
respect on his name.
Yeah, I mean he's got some top 5 finishes in majors. He's done well. He's been around.
He had a 54-hole lead going U.S. Open a couple years ago that Brooks won. So he's has not done great at majors, but that was his best. And he's won a couple times on tour, but it'd been like 6 or 7 years.
Previously played on the NGA Hooters Tar Heel Tour.
We've all been there. That was kind of the goal coming out of high school and college, play on the Hooters Tour. And they tore down the Hooters in Austin.
I just was really eager to find out that he was doing e-golf. That's what it's called now, the e-golf professional tour, but it's not what I was hoping it was. He was not doing like the Ricky Fowler, Tiger Woods, like simulator series.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought that it just is called the e-golf professional tour. So
you're right. It is confusing.
That's where he came from. I would have been all in on the guy. I guess my very terrible point here is golf suffers when you have a big margin lead going into Sunday with nobody really threatening. And when that person with the lead doesn't bring a lot to the table, like even Scotty Scheffler, was that his first win last year, which would have been what, US Open? First major. So he won back-to-back to start the year. I don't know. I don't remember the order of majors. He's the PGA, whichever. Went into Sunday with a huge lead, basically controlled it all the way down the line to where he put the whole tournament to sleep. And it was good because he backed it up again after that. And like, he was from Dallas, so he had a little bit of involvement and interest, but I'm just not there for Brian Harman.
To clarify, the Scotty Scheffler major, the only one he's won was the Masters.
I thought he went back-to-back majors in 2022.
He did win the Players Championship.
Oh, okay. It was the Players, not the PGA. Okay.
Famously, the fifth major.
Fair. Okay. So he just won back-to-back bigger tournaments, one of them being a major last year.
Yes.
But yeah, one of those, he had a runaway lead. And it kind of made it a little bit like, okay, well, what am I doing here on a Sunday? Like I'll go watch Jamaica and France kick around a ball or something. But you know, I guess that's just me griping like, hey, you only get 4 majors a year. If these are the 4 times where I'm quote unquote all in on golf, my hope is that we get something a little bit more.
Yeah, I get it. I completely understand that.
Even Fleetwood, I would have loved Fleetwood pulling it off.
It would have been great. I will say that he made it a little bit more watchable by actually like draining big birdie putts and like, you know, really
After bogey,
shutting the door. He didn't make it interesting. Like it was never interesting. You know, there's some eagle putts to get it to like 3 early on, like the lead, and just didn't come to fruition. And I mean, God, outside of that bunker he hit on 18, he was nearly perfect. A couple, I guess, 1 or 2 bogeys early on, but I don't know.
It's not his fault. It's nothing to slight him. There's nothing more than can be expected. I'm just saying as like the furthest from full blown golf guy.
I completely get that.
I think my interest level is like, well, maybe we can get Vertigo guy to win, or I can get Seb Straka's name.
Vertigo guy, Jason Day. Jason Day had a good tournament.
He did.
Seb Straka, you're a Seb Straka guy now.
Yeah, who is it that I'm mixing his name up with in my head? Political guy,
Sebastian Gorka or whatever.
I think it's Seb Gorka.
Noted.
That's in my head.
Right wing pundit. Is that who I'm thinking?
That's exactly who it is.
I hate that I pulled that name.
I appreciate it because I've never seen Seb Straka's face. Minus yesterday.
Promise I'm not a
P1. He definitely doesn't look like Gorka.
Sebastian Gorka. That's even his name. Yeah, and I will say this. I think guarantees he's going to be on the Ryder Cup just based on points. So yeah, you're going to get Brian Harman in Italy, and that's pretty dope because when I really started pulling for him to do it is when you started getting rumblings of him getting heckled by the pro Tommy, the pro pretty much anybody but Brian Harman crowd.
The Euros.
And he laughed about it afterward, but I was like, okay, this is good. You know, he's proven he's kind of a dog, and I would love to see him on the Ryder Cup team. I don't know who you pair him with, but
you know what? That changed my whole attitude about this completely. Because like I said, I was bitching because this is the final major of the year. Don't care about PGA or the FedEx Cup, or wherever Live terminates their season. But yeah, we're 60-ish days away from Ryder Cup. So
end of
thank
September.
you for that reminder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, golf season. Yeah, we still, and again, man, we got the
weekend 1 ACL. It's there,
bro. I'm all about weekend 2, man. I only go weekend 2. Have you seen the headliners? I'm probably not going this year. I think I got a golf trip. Okay. All in all, I mean,
yeah,
great course, great venue, Royal Liverpool. They're gonna be back there weirdly in like 3 years, 2 or 3 years. I think I heard 2026. I have no problem with that. Did not do the get up early or stay up late thing at all, but it helps when you have a kid and you've kind of grown accustomed to getting up at 6 a.m. just so you have like 45 minutes to yourself before you have to wake the kid up and have him just, you know, completely dominate the next hour of your day. Go out there, turn the volume low, watch a little Open Championship. It's great TV. Pairs well with some bing bong.
Next year you get Royal Choom Gang.
Oh, gang.
Mm-hmm. And then Portrush.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Big Portrush guy here. So we alluded to this earlier. Nutrafol. Our good friends at Nutrafol. Because you don't have to choose between better hair growth and your health. There's a holistic solution for men that promotes both healthier hair and whole body wellness. Right here. Another ad read, another hand up. I'm a user of Nutrafol. Get ahead of thinning hair with Nutrafol's whole body approach to hair growth. No drugs, no compromises. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement, clinically shown to improve your hair growth, thickness, and visible scalp coverage. Listen, the other day, I said, hey, your hair looks thicker. Like, you putting some product in there? I'm like, no, I'm just popping the Nutrafol. And look at it.
All
paying
in
off
on
dividends.
what won me over is the nutraceuticals, of course. They go beyond the genetics to multi-target the root causes of things, including stress, which as a parent is constant, hormones, nutrition, metabolism, aging, of course, and lifestyle through whole body health. I am one who've been like, my hair gets a little bit long, got to cut it. Can't let people realize like, hey, there's some coverage loss here in the central region. Was very, very apprehensive at first before diving into the Nutrafol pool. Finally, I said, you know what? Screw it. Let me put it as a part of my daily regimen. Been all in for about a month and a half, and your boy is on the up and up.
KJ,
feeling better every day.
It's physician formulated using natural medical grade ingredients. Their drug-free patented technology provides consistent, reliable results without compromising your sexual health, which is huge. In a clinical study, men showed progressive improvement in hair growth and thickness after 3 and 6 months. Nutrafol is also trusted and recommended by more than 3,000 top doctors, including my local dermatologist. So how about that? You can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com and entering the promo code DIP to save $10 off your first month subscription. This offer is only available to U.S. customers for a limited time, plus free shipping on every order. Get $10 off at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code DIP. Where do we want to go from here? It could go a number of directions. Can I bitch about MLB real quick?
Yes, please do. Otherwise we were just going to have kind of a hodgepodge. So you do MLB really quick.
Well, I wanted to be the first to congratulate the Crime Dog, the original Crime Dog, to enter the inducted into the Hall of Fame yesterday. One of the greats, and someone from our childhood who we know quite fondly from infomercials back when those were a thing. I do have to ask this question. What is Major League Baseball doing this on like Sunday afternoon? This is like the least hyped Hall of Fame induction ever. It's baseball. It's the one that takes itself more seriously than anybody, than any sport. And they just buried it on a major Sunday. I don't understand.
I too was a little bit shocked, not about the announcement, but I don't know if you've noticed this. There are some sports that will announce the inductees or the finalists and then the inductees and then later have the ceremony. So I assume this was one of those, hey, Scott Rowland and the Crime Dog are getting into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And then I read further on and you've got one of, which I read excerpts and then went back and watched a handful of minutes from it. Fred McGriff's speech was incredible. Like a really well done speech, like about perseverance and continuing to follow your dreams and talking. He was very humble and saying he just wanted to make it in the big leagues and now he's in the Hall of Fame. But I didn't expect to, see the credits as I'm expecting to see like, oh, September 14th, they will have a ceremony from, the west side of a cheesecake factory in rural Ohio.
Do you think Baker will get inducted outside of a cheesecake factory? That's a callback.
Again, where's Cooperstown?
Great question. It's giving Ohio.
I think it's New York is why I'm struggling here.
It's New York.
I'm like, is it actually Missouri? Like one of them's in like Naismith, I guess is the Kansas City-ish one. But yeah, Cooperstown is in New York. The whole time I'm like, where the F could this have even been going down?
The reason I said it's giving Ohio, Canton and the NFL's Pro Football Hall of Fame is in Canton, Ohio. We should go.
By the way,
create long-lasting memories, it says here. You could go there. Very cool. We should do that sometime.
Maybe I'll go wear the Emmitt Smith's double star jersey. By the way, Hall of Fame game is next Thursday night.
Who we got?
The NFL Network is going to turn on, and there's going to be professional football being played that nobody cares about, but then everybody will immediately be like, shit, I need to get my fantasy football teams in order. Like the distance between now and next week tomorrow, veterans and full camps report for NFL training camp. And next Wednesday or Tuesday, whichever is August 1st, Hard Knocks premieres on the 1st of August. And then you have the Hall of Fame game on next Thursday. So like
featuring the Jets.
It feels, featuring the Jets and Raiders.
Cleveland Browns.
Close enough. It's I need to figure out who the head coaches are for like 6 teams. I need to figure out. I had to remind myself that Eric Bieniemy is the OC for the Commanders. A lot of studying to do between now and I'd say September.
Yeah, watching quarterbacks, which will continue when Dylan's back next week. Episodes 3, 4. Maybe we'll just do like a bunch of them since.
We'll catch up by then. We'll be done.
We talked about this a little bit last week. Watching that is like, man, I don't remember a lot of these storylines. College football, and probably worse. Although they, recruiting has kind of kept it top of mind. If you follow the great Mike Roach, keeps you up to date. By the way, shout out to the Ponies for getting the Duncanville kid. Very cool.
KD Dotson, I want to say. Anytime you get a safety with first part of his name being Ka, I'm all in. I'll to SMU, except for he did want to say he wanted to be one of the best safeties to ever go there.
Oh.
I'd like to let him know he already is.
Is he the first 4-star safety? He's 4-star, right?
Correct.
Correct. He's got to be one of
without a doubt.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was tremendous news. I'm not one to get too far into the decisions of 17-year-olds.
Good choice.
But I did find my way to clicking on a tweet congratulating this commitment from Duncanville to SMU because he chose them over Texas, LSU. There was 2 other schools. Oh, TCU.
Yeah.
Texas, LSU, TCU, and one other school in there.
Can I say something?
But there was yes.
No, you continue. Sorry, I'll wait for you to finish.
I'll say really quickly, there was a tweet congratulating him on getting to SMU, and I click on that woman's tweet, and what do I know? But it's the mother of Colin Simmons, and then I found myself saying, "Oh wait, please, you too could live this dream." Colin Simmons being a 5-star #1 player, maybe in the nation.
Yeah, defensive end, also out of Duncanville, absolute monster.
Like a 6'5", Davian. Wow, what's Clowney's first name? Jadeveon Clowney type athlete, and I'm just like, please, I will donate right now.
My only other thing on the recruiting front is I had this moment last year when I followed I believe now he's a 4-star running back, also at Duncanville, uncommitted, between LSU and OU, I think, Caden Durham. Hit him with the follow. I'm like, dude, this kid's going to be a great player in college. I'm going to follow him. And then he followed me back, and I was like, oh, man, what was this? Cool, I guess? I don't know. I was like, now I feel weird that you followed me back. You're not going to like my content. You're just not.
You got to think it's one of those like there have to be social media classes for high school athletes at this point. So you got to think it's either a follow for a follow mentality or to follow and mute approach.
Well, I think it was also this is pre-Elon, so I was still verified. So maybe he thought I was like a somebody when in reality I'm just a regional C-list media personality. So shout out to him though. I'm doing okay on Twitter, man. Golf tournaments, it's when I shine. How do we even get here?
NFL note really quick.
Oh yeah.
Unless you want to do the name game. One of the NFL note I think is interesting. I don't think we have the pictures at the ready, but I do have something to say.
I just want to say I think it's absolutely hilarious that the Titans are bringing back the Oilers logo on an alternate uniform. It is objectively one of the best logos. The color scheme is sick, and if I was if I lived in Houston, if I cared about Houston sports, I would be disgusted. I would be so mad right now, and for that reason. That is hilarious. We're talking, of course, about the white helmets, the oil derrick, the red face mask, the red stripes outside of the light blue stripe on the top. Yeah, man, so sick. And Derrick Henry's
almost reminiscent of the hat you're wearing or the shirt I'm wearing. Like we're both kind of on brand for the baby blue and red.
Baby blue
motif. Dallas skyline represent.
Derrick Henry's going to look pretty fucking tight in this.
I don't even know what to say. You're going to get Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins. So not only that, if they were really about it, I would have thrown Hopkins in the promo tweet, as he is a former Houston Texans star.
Oh my God.
In the Houston Oilers uniform.
Oh my God. That would just, you can't, that's too far. And also division rivals, right?
Yes.
Yeah, AFC South.
Yeah, AFC South. Yes.
Yeah, that is quite the storyline for 2 games a season.
It is as disgusting as any sports like minor note detail is the fact that the team that owns the team and moves the team, like they can change brands, change names, change logos, change everything, but they keep the history and the name and like the IP. They keep the IP, bruh.
Intellectual prop.
And I feel that the NBA set the standard once again here. And like the Bobcats selling the Hornets back to Charlotte, or I'm sorry, the Pelicans selling the Hornets, New Orleans selling the Hornets back to Charlotte is the way that it should go. Like you should benefit from the transition of like, you did what you want with this franchise. Somebody else gets to now profit off of like the brand you built up, but you shouldn't get to take that with you if you're not going to keep using it.
Agree. And it says here they will wear the uniforms in 2 games this fall, both home games. Doesn't say which ones. There's no way they do it against the Texans, right? There's no way.
I hope they do.
Oh my God.
Not like the players or anybody would care. D'Amico Ryans being the head coach maybe cares, but what would that matter? But still, I would love it if they wore them on the road to fucking Houston. It'd be the most confusing thing, but I would love it.
They would be very
the fans
confusing.
would lose their shit.
God, dude. I used to think Warren Moon was like the cool, like, obviously I was a Cowboys fan, but I always thought Warren Moon was so sick.
Yeah, he had an arm. Speaking of Warren Moon, I watched like a little bit of CFL yesterday, and I was like, you know what? I don't know if I'm quite ready for this to be back, but I'm ready. I didn't watch the Slam Ball premiere, so I should have watched it, but I'm ready.
KJ, I was hoping a minute ago when you were telling us that you were looking through like the recruits' tweets and stuff, I was hoping you were going to say like you saw that like another Duncanville kid like who was between SMU and Texas went Texas way, and you just respond with like wish nothing but the best for you, man. You're gonna love it there. Just good guy college football fan on Twitter. The best people. Hey, this is coming from a SMU fan, man, dude. Just nothing but the best.
Being literal decades removed from it, I do not know like how to even wrap my brain around what that experience is like or could be like. It's just, I really, really wish the best for all of those kids who have to endure and or enjoy it. Like everything to them. I don't know that I could manage it, but we'll see.
Well said.
Do we want to do Messi or boxing?
My only note on boxing is that we have quite the combat sports weekend. Got UFC 291. We got Gagey Poirier 2. Sick card. But it's also going up against the fight of the, I don't know, last 5 years?
For that weight class, for sure.
For welterweight.
I would say Tyson Fury and Wilder, like maybe the biggest boxing match since Fury Wilder's.
You got to look back to like Pacquiao and Mayweather, even though that kind of turned out to be a dud. But yeah, so we got Bud Crawford Spence this Saturday, and I am nervous with excitement, meaning because I have been an Errol Spence fan for last 4 or 5 years, and I really like the guy. Do the whole follow him on Instagram, follow him on Twitter thing. I like it. He posts a picture of his kid. I like it. I feel like a dork, but whatever. I also like Bud Crawford, but I like Errol a lot more, and it's also the hometown connection. He is from your former stomping grounds in DeSoto.
Correct.
Is where he grew up and I think still lives. But yeah, that is the fight at 147 that you thought was never going to happen. It was in the making for like 2 or 3 years, and here we are. They're both, excuse me, relatively in their primes. I think Bud's a little bit older, but I don't know. I think Bud Crawford is the slight favorite. It's going to be fun, but I hate when I have an emotional investment in a fighter because it's so gut wrenching when it doesn't work out. And well, when it does, it's great. And I don't know what's going to happen. I think this is the beginning of a potential trilogy. Thinking pretty much along the lines of Triple G, Canelo. We had some robberies there against Triple G. Not, that first fight was a draw in quotes. Triple G won, but then you got 2 other fights. One when Triple G was way out of his prime, and that was the only one that there was a definitive winner in Canelo. But I'm excited. I don't know how I'm going to consume all this stuff. Maybe there's a bar showing both cards, but that's definitely worth paying for. Pay for Spence-Crawford. They deserve your business. It will deliver.
Fair. I it's weird that sense of nerves, and maybe it's like, I don't know if I get this with other sports. Boxing and UFC, they're so definitive, like most of the time, of winner and loser, that you get that third party, like you don't want to see the person or the team you're rooting for get hurt. I don't think anyone goes into like team sports with that same sense of like kind of proxy, not fear, but like acknowledgement of this could go very bad.
Yeah, and
or it could go great. Like, I don't know.
With Twitter, you get all the people who get the diehards, the people that really ride for somebody who, like, if one of the guys gets knocked out, they'll replay it into infinity, and they will, completely diminish this person's career. I mean, they're both undefeated fighters, and one loss is not going to change their legacy that much. That being said, like, I would be devastated if Errol went out via knockout, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think this thing's going the distance. That's the betting. That's the odds are it's going the distance. So look for a decision.
Fair enough. I think I will. I've added a reminder on my calendar to figure out a way to tune in myself as well. Lionel Messi. As we are both big MLS guys.
That's us.
Which I've learned recently there are 30-ish teams, like 31 teams in the MLS.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about him coming to the MLS. Huge deal. $500 million or something crazy like that. Maybe $1 billion. I have no idea. Making a ton of money. Getting forced to go to Publix in person. Which I think that was a media plan. Like, there's no fucking way.
No.
Messi was just like, I'm going to go pick up some milk from Publix. Like, fucking, yeah, right.
No. Genius play. I'm sure maybe he went by and got like a very, very mid sub.
I don't disagree.
They're fine.
But as somebody who both thought Publix like had some secret approach to lottery tickets and great subs, I've wasted money on both outside of watercolor at some point, or Seaside at some point.
Yeah, I think if I grew up around one, I would absolutely ride for it and love it. Very similar to Whataburger, but it's just been so gassed up by people I know who live in Florida that when I did have it, I was like, granted, circumstances were weird. They had been sitting around for like 30, 45 minutes, but I was like, okay, this is a good sandwich. I'm not necessarily going to drive. I'm not going to wait in a line. It's an hour long if they open one in Austin for some reason.
If somebody told me the best orange chicken I could ever have is from the local Kroger or Pick and Save, whatever your region might offer, I still don't think that I would acknowledge it as the best orange chicken available because I purchased it 15 feet from a Us Weekly and some Dove.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Not this. It hits different.
I shouldn't be able to buy like a happy birthday card at the same place. It just knocks you down a point.
And some clearance Pillsbury cake mix. But anyways, we talked about Messi. There's just something very gratifying about being a sports fan when like the hype is real and like warranted and pays off.
The first game.
I think we're all like aware of like the machine behind all of this charade we call sports. Like we get it. Hell, I wouldn't say a part of it, but like We're definitely in it.
We're a cog.
But, and I'm fine with that. It's great. But, like, this is the equivalent of, like, Wembanyama, like, I don't know, game-winning shot in the first playoff series, or maybe the first 10 games, like averaging 30, 10, and 10. Like, seeing all of the build-up, even though Messi's was a shorter timeline, seeing all of this proved to be like, yeah, he is that fucking guy with a game-winning goal. Like, what a pivotal game for season's purposes. But, like, you've got LeBron, you've got J-Lo, you've got all these stars sitting there with their own phones out watching this moment. And you fucking deliver because you're Messi, and you're like, all right, I'm going to go to Club Live, a little D sucked, and move on with my day. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
I just
exactly
imagine,
what's
like, if
gonna
you're
happen.
Messi, like, that's what your day includes, like, kind of as a given. It was a part of his package, if you will.
I was thinking of a comp, and you kind of reminded me of the LeBron 3 back in his first couple seasons when, like, game, I don't know if it was a playoff game, but a buzzer beater, and it was like, holy shit. It wasn't his rookie year, but yeah.
Back when you only thought he was a big dunker, a big passer, and like a power guy, and he's just draining moonshots.
Yeah. But yeah, this is perfect. I didn't have to sit through an MLS game on a Friday night. I got to just see the all I needed to see, and got the dope crowd reaction. You had, like you said, Serena, Kim K, LeBron, the Beckhams, everybody going crazy. So that was pretty wild, and Twitter handled it pretty well, although there were some conspiracy theorists, and I'm like, dude, how fucking warped is your brain if you think they could set this up possibly? Like maybe they could have set up, like, to put him in that opportunity. I honestly didn't see what led to that, but
He still has to execute.
He still has to execute a very difficult shot. What I think is very difficult. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's a reason he's him, and, like, it's more normal for him than anyone else. It still has to be done. It's like watching Steph Curry. I was going to say Seth Curry. Either one in a pregame, like, hit their ridiculous shots. Like, yeah, it's easy for them. They still have to do it. You know, Luka's like kick threes from 60 yards out pregame. Like, it's still fucking awesome to see.
Yeah.
Really quickly, Wednesday night, we've got Women's World Cup. I don't know if you're like me and you're like, hey, I forgot that was the women's one, but I am all in. I did turn it on before realizing that. And I'm all in, you know, equal entertainment value and all.
Yeah.
Sophia Smith is a freaking monster out of Stanford. I'm not going to give, like, my whole rundown, but I will be the guy tweeting about the Women's World Cup here in the next, like, 6 to 10 days, as if I've been, like, waiting on this for 4 years.
You need to go Tron Carter and fly to Australia.
I'm just going to go deep on Threads, not on X. I'll be on Threads, just deep on Women's World Cup.
Are you going to Zeet?
Fucking hell, man. I can't.
Randy's
The
insisting
internet's
that we
making
call
us
it
older
Zeeting.
every day.
Randy wants to call it Zeeting. Randy's like a big Elon guy. He's like, dude, we got to support this. We got to, this is the future of banking. This is the future of everything. The stuff that he talks about, man, it's crazy.
Big ZD. I love it.
Okay.
Which could be a wide receiver from a random college team. Do we even want to do the name game?
Give me your faves.
Mobility, defensive back out of UNT, stands out. I didn't notice it the first 20 times I looked at this, but Dude Person, defensive back from Central Arkansas.
That's
or
phenomenal.
Is abbreviated here. Central Arky is fucking great. And then Rowdy Beers. I think I've seen his name pop up.
I've seen
before.
Rowdy Beers. I'm looking at Dude Person's huddle page right now, trying to see what kind of numbers we were doing in high school.
Pig Cage out of UT San Antonio. I get a little bit suspicious when the first name is, like, the interesting part. Like, Cage is a relatively normal name. So, like, I don't think his first name's really Pig. Chief Borders, the D lineman out of Boston College. Any thoughts?
Hold on. Out
It'd
of
be
which college?
SHITTA SILLAA.
Okay. See, this is the part of the show where I like avoid making obvious jokes because like I don't know if there's like a religious or cultural significance. So I will just allow you to do that, sir.
What is the what's the wing that we got from, or that the Mavericks got from the Knicks? Reggie Bullock. I don't want to be Reggie Bullocked here, so I will not venture down that road.
What's the Reggie Bullock?
Just asking him about his hair, like just so flippantly. The realest and the coldest. I don't know what defiance is. I don't even know what to say about that. But Cavassier Smoke, seen that before.
Fucking love
Major
this,
Burns. That seems normal enough. But yeah, mobility is pretty fucking great. And I think I remember seeing his name last year.
Sneaky 100% in on Jaden Muskrat. That might be my favorite name. That just sounds at Auburn. This is all lining up. That just sounds like just a scrappy dude you don't want to be tangling with on the line out there in the trenches.
Muskie.
Anyway, this is good.
General Booty, I feel like it's old news at this point. Like growing up with John David, like I'm over it.
Booty rocking nephew? Everywhere.
Is that nephew or son?
Ooh.
John David Booty and General.
I don't think it's son.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I will quickly try to find out. Uncle.
Very cool.
John David Booty, former USC quarterback.
All
right.
I think we covered all the sports. What are we missing? Anything you want to get to?
I think we did watch a lot of fights, watch some quarterbacks. By the time we have the three of us back together, we will be staring NFL preseason in the eye, maybe reminding people of some bets that we have not quite paid off, and talking about any other future show plans for the season.
Shout out to CJ Stroud getting his entire $36 million rookie contract up front.
I don't know why the NFL keeps I don't know. It's weird seeing all those advertised right now. Like, of course they were going to sign. This shouldn't be news.
Yeah, it's very slow sports time. Brian Harman can only take you so far.
Takes about 5 o'clock on Sunday, or not even 5 o'clock. It's about 12 o'clock on Sunday.
Dylan will be back next week. We'll jump back into quarterbacks, and again, KJ will break down the X's and O's of the what's going to be the Hall of Fame game, and we'll listen and take notes.
Till then, I'm going to be watching Tom Amansky's baseball skills video with Fred McGriff over and over and over.
Shout out Crime Dog. Bye-bye.
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.